Hello, we're going to go through a quick skill drill on creating a PQE using the source 3 in the Oxford Big Ideas for Year 7 text on page 49. That's this image here. You would have seen this before either in the text or in the video of the narration. Now PQE is analysing the patterns and what you can understand from the patterns that you can work out from this video, from this image here, sorry. So step one is to look at the actual pattern itself. So in this stage, you're giving a general overview of the pattern, referring to some particular places in the map and which areas have common features. For example, the example given here says that the map of the world's freshwater resources show that countries throughout South America have a lot of freshwater. So if you look at this map, we know that the larger parts of the map have more freshwater and the smaller parts of the map have less freshwater. So that is a pattern that has been picked up, that most of the countries in South America tend to have a lot of water. Now, it's not just enough to identify the pattern, you've actually got to give some data around the pattern that you picked up. So the step 2, or the Q, is to quantify. So when you're quantifying, you're giving a number, you're giving a value to what you're talking about. So you need to quantify your pattern, that general overview pattern that you've worked out. So we've said that countries throughout South America have lots of fresh water. And now we're going to look at a specific example. Here it says Brazil, which is a country in South America, has more than 5,000 cubic kilometers of fresh water a year. So if you go to, wrong way, to the map, that's this big country here is Brazil. We know that this square here, using the legend, is equal to 1,000 cubic kilometers. And when you've measured it out, I'm not going to measure it out on the screen, but if you measured it out, this fits to roughly 5,000. So 5 of these boxes broken up over it. So you've got 5,000 cubic kilometers of water, fresh water per year. But you've got to also show where this might not be the case. So what's the exception to this pattern? So you're saying that this predictor, or this person, is saying that a continent, South America, has quite a lot of water based on the data that Brazil has 5,000 cubic kilometers of fresh water. But they've pointed out an exception. They're like, well, if you look at Africa and Madagascar, this specific country and island is an island of Africa, appears to have a lot of water supplies, but the rest of Africa does not. So this is an exception to the pattern that they've picked up. So if we go to Madagascar, Madagascar is the island here that seems to be quite large. It is definitely not that big in real life. In fact, if you measure it against Australia, it looks almost the same size, even though it is much, much, much smaller. Whereas the rest of Africa, and that's the rest of Africa, all here, doesn't seem to have as much, compared to this one island and country by itself. So that is a quick overview of what a pattern quantify exceptions, or PQE, is. As the term continues, we'll be doing a bit more work on that, but that is a brief introduction to what a PQE looks like.